Welcome to episode 196 of Convincing Idiots. This week we're going to talk about the fitness gum. We're going to talk about Superman here in Cleveland. We talk about Hatua Girl. Yeah, we talk about her a lot. Patriotism. Do you still have it? Do we? And then the B Squad of Star Wars characters. We do our Mount Rushmore. All of that and so much more. There's only one way to find out what all that is. Well, let's start the show.
You guys enjoy your whatever that is.
All right. Test.
Test.
Test. What do you call it again? Convincing Idiots.
Called it ham gravy.
I informed them that I sided with the Statman, not just anyone's opinion, the Statman Brian Fisher.
These kids today.
Jingle All the Way is in fact the best Christmas movie of all time.
I need to get Grandma a present, and my herpes is flaring up. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo. I'm the millennial
We're
Santa.
three friends representing three different generations. That's our whole shtick. That's our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nick got the whole poop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing in the sea
Awesome.
breeze, holding a turd, just mightily. I'm just going hitting hats.
Anyway, on a lighter note,
Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the broadcast. Boys and girls, welcome to the show. This is Convincing Idiots. My name's Dean, the Zennial.
I'm Brian Genix.
And we are Nicholas Less again. Continuing. Nick is taking a sabbatical for the summer, getting his tits done, and he'll be back in the fall.
There you go.
So you just got us two. That's what you got. And
That's
you'll
it.
fucking like it.
That's right. We are so committed to
That's
your
right.
entertainment out there. We are missing the riveting presidential debate right now, ladies
Right.
and gentlemen. So as we film
Yeah.
this,
You're welcome.
yeah, we're like, you know what? We want to hear every word that these gentlemen
That's right.
have to say. We're like, you know what? No, we need to bring our entertainment to you and smiles to the faces of Brazil. You know what I mean? So that's it.
We got
There
to
you
think
go.
about the world, Brian.
We do. Yeah.
And this is a much
Go ahead.
better debate, anyways.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yeah. You know, it's similar. You know, one is
It's very
old,
similar.
One is old, and one
one's
is crazy. You know.
I think
I
this
like
is a
it.
perfect example.
Yeah, I like it. I like it very much. Well, first, I'll remind everybody who we are. So we are a podcast of friends from the different generations talking all things nerd and pop culture, whatever the hell we want to talk about. We will bring that to you each and every week. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. We're on all major podcast platforms. Apple Podcast, Spotify, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Padcast. You laughing at my Padcast?
Padcast, is that a thing?
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna make it up.
All right.
Yeah.
Padcast it is.
That's right.
Find us on Padcast.
That's it. If you do listen on the Padcast or podcast, give us a follow or subscribe and rate review on Apple Podcasts. Helps others find the show. You might be watching us on our YouTube channels on at Convincing Idiots on both YouTube and YouTube Music channels. All show information can be found in two main places. Our Linktree page is simply Google Linktree Convincing Idiots. Simply a page with links to our social media, etc. And our website, go there. If you go to one place, convincingidiots.wordpress.com. All show information is there. Links to new episodes, bios, our TeePublic merch store, ways to sponsor the show. And if you do anything at all, tell
Don't
a friend.
just put us in your ears, put us on your back.
Exactly right. You do anything at all, tell a friend, help them find us and help them follow our show. And we would appreciate that very much. So
Tell your mom. She will love us.
that's right. And maybe she already does. Or used
Oh,
to.
I guarantee it.
You know, maybe in the 90s. 90s.
Well,
Maybe
sure,
in the
a lot in the
90s.
90s.
Yeah. So, how are you doing, Dean? What's new with you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. You know, just hanging out. Let's see, what have I done? Went to this grad party. Megan's stepsister
Okay.
had a grad party. Went to help set up and celebrate that. She just graduated high school. The Royal Docks. Megan and I went to the Royal Docks. Have you been there for your pass?
I have, yes, and I had a s'mores beer and I had a little
we
toasted
tried that.
marshmallow in it. It was very good.
That was cool. That was very cool. Toasted marshmallow really helped it.
Yes.
I had it was the England or the London, the London, I think. It was the English bitter beer.
Yeah,
It
good
was
beer.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a place I sort of forget about, and every time I go in there, which isn't often at all because it's not super close, but every time I go to get my pass,
Very
I'm like,
good.
man, we gotta come down here more often just for the beer.
I like the
which is a good thing.
atmosphere. I like the whole England theme to it.
Yeah.
I dig that.
The patio's nice, although I haven't enjoyed it. Been down there to enjoy it ever. You know, it's just always been bad weather and stuff. But it's a nice area.
We sat at the bar.
Okay. Yeah.
It was good.
Very good.
And what else? We all, you were with me. We were all at the Barberton night at the Rubber Ducks. Chicken and fried rice. They changed the name to in honor of Barberton.
Mm-hmm.
The Ducks won. It was stupid hot, and it was a good time.
It was a good time. Did you say fried rice or hot rice?
What did I say? Fried rice? Hot rice. I'm sorry, hot rice.
That's okay.
Chicken and hot rice.
Yeah. It was a great time. Great, like I said, it was the heat wave was still very prevalent, but we had a good time.
Yeah, that was the unpleasant part. Other than that, it was good.
Yeah,
good time hanging out.
Absolutely.
Other than that, that's about all I did. What about you? What'd you do?
Well, the house selling and hunting continues to go forward here. So, as I mentioned to you offline, the kind gentleman who put an offer in for my place backed out. I heard about that yesterday. So,
that's a little rough.
Yeah, that's a tough one. So that kind of puts your search for the next place a little bit on pause until we get another offer here. So now we're reverting back to, listing and showing mode. I had someone come through today. So yeah, it's
was that one step forward, two steps back type situation?
That's really kind of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. He had to change his mind and so forth. But also go screw yourself. There you have it. If you happen to be listening out.
Right. And fuck yourself.
That's it. Yeah. I don't know. Could be listening because he actually came through here and saw this again. This professional studio.
He could have owned a piece of history with the original Convincing Idiots set, and he passed on it. Piece of shit.
It's a revenue generating opportunity. You know what I'm saying? It really is. Mm-hmm.
You know how in Dallas, Texas, they took the school book depository sniper's nest that quote unquote Lee Harvey Oswald was shot from. They've blasted that off and made that it's untouched. He could have done the same with your office and had tours. He could have made money off of this. Sure. Yep. I for the right price, I would have left every item behind me practically. Absolutely. You'd have been out $3, but still, it would have been worth it. Yep. And for the even higher price, I would have sealed Nick in this room as well. You know what I mean? Right. At least we'll make him be on the podcast. I still refuse to do it. No. Do it. Yep. That's right. So that's it. So it's kind of a bummer. It was a little upsetting, but you just got to move on. I'm sorry to hear that.
That's all right, man. he's got to move forward, and that's it. That's just it. You know, it kind of complicates the timeline with Allie's lease and everything like that. But again, worst case, you know, we're not going to be on the street. She'll move in here temporarily, and we'll just keep things moving, and that's it. It'll all work out. It'll all work out. So. Well, beyond that, let's see. That's really about it, man. It's been house this and house that. It's really been all weekend, last weekend.
Within all that house hunting and house selling situation you got going there, have you watched anything you'd like to recommend?
I have been watching some stuff here, so I know we'll talk more about it. But I continue to watch the Acolyte series, episode 5. You know, we're not going to spoil it, but man, really heating up now.
That was a good episode, man.
Yeah. Very, very
so
good. I continue to enjoy the Clipped series on Hulu with Ed O'Neill playing Donald Sterling, the disgraced owner of the Clippers. Lawrence Fishburne as Doc Rivers, the coach. I mentioned that before.
Okay.
Just very, very good. Very, very good. So even if you don't really know the story, again, just to watch these folks act. Those two gentlemen alone are two top-notch actors, certainly, as are many others on the series. But very, very good. I watched. There's a new documentary on Hulu, about Jonestown. So this was a 3-part National Geographic documentary about the Jonestown cult. You know, the whole Kool-Aid drinking, this, that.
Sure.
Has interviewed his son currently, who was not there at the time. Yes, his son was actually running another chapter, or is that another place? So he, of course, survived and is helping tell the story. Really, it's really just such a tragic story. God, horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, they interview his son. They interview some of the military men who were there.
Military personnel, I should say, was killed.
Yes.
Well, that's kind of what started it. The chain of events.
That's right. Yeah, just So it's not the easiest watch, but it is interesting if you're intrigued by that sort of thing. So go ahead.
Yeah, I watched. I could have watched that one, but I watched a documentary on it like that. And ultimately, what it comes down to, like the senator who was killed, all those people who essentially were murdered, right? I mean,
yeah. It was 400 some people at least. It was
400. Yeah. I think the worst one to come out of it, you feel worse, the worst for, is the Kool-Aid man. I mean, the idea that the reputation of that guy got hit so hard.
Never was the same.
No, it was unfortunate.
Yep. Let's see. Then I've watched. There's a new movie. Well, I thought about seeing it in the theater, but never got around to it. Now it's on Hulu. The First Omen movie. I watched this last evening.
Oh, okay.
This is a prequel to the original Omen movie, which I've mentioned before. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time. And it was, those prequels, when they make the original movie, they're not intending it to have a, fucking prequel typically. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you have to try to tie in, and that's not the easiest thing to do. But it was creative. I'm not going to spoil it, but it does sort of screw up some of the storyline in the original a little bit, But still, it was interesting. I did enjoy it. It was a good thriller, and it was pretty good. So if you're a horror movie fan, it's more of a thriller than a horror, really. A little bit of horror. Okay. Certainly if you're a fan of the original Omen. Yeah. Huh?
So who doesn't like horrors?
That's right. Exactly.
Oh, you said horror. I'm sorry.
Horror.
Sorry.
Yes.
My headphones cut out, I think.
Yeah. And I picked up a new podcast I've been listening to and enjoying here, Dean. So this is called the Big Flop Podcast. So
is that the one I do about when I take a piss?
No. This is a longer podcast. No, it's every week. Every week you find it on your major podcast platforms, but it's a history of some type of business venture or something along that line, or a television show or something that just completely flopped, right? So
Okay.
one episode is about New Coke, for example.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
One is about the Segway. So it gives you the actual backstory of how that came to be. They typically have guests and comedians and all that. It's just funny banter back and forth and stuff like that. But you learn something. But it's also very funny and entertaining. So yeah, I recommend that one. If you like that sort of thing, check out the Big Flop on your major podcast platform. It's a Wondery podcast. Wondery Plus. You can find it there as well. But after a couple of days, it's going to be on your normal streaming services. Okay, that's it. How about you, sir? Have you got anything interesting you want to talk about?
Acolyte is amazing. I don't understand what these people are talking about online. That they killed Star Wars and it's awful.
No,
I don't think we're watching the same thing. This is just good, solid Star Wars stuff. You don't need to be the continuity thing that people had with what's his name, Mundy, something Mundy, the Master Mundy. Come on, people. The story's halfway done. Let them tell it.
Yeah.
Before you start calling them out for continuity shit.
Right.
You don't know what they're going to explain or whatnot. Let them do it. Let them finish the story. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that later in the episode. But also, Meg and I started watching The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Okay. All right.
On Prime, right? Yeah, it's Prime.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's really good. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's about a kind of an upper class housewife in the 1950s.
Okay.
Who gets into stand-up comedy. It's loosely based on Joan Rivers' life,
really?
Apparently.
Okay.
I looked that up and just found that out as I was watching. What's her name? Brosnahan.
Okay.
She's going to be playing the new Lois Lane.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
She plays the title character, and it's very good. It's funny. It's visually, it's just beautiful. Like it really is. It won a bunch of awards, and it deservedly so.
Okay.
And what's her name? Who plays Lois on the Family Guy? Who does the voice for Lois?
Oh,
she is in it. She won a couple Emmys for it, and she is amazing. She definitely deserves it. Tony Shalhoub is in it. Yeah, it's very good. Tony Shalhoub's always great in everything he does. So,
okay.
Highly recommend that. Again, I know I'm late to the party. It's already over, and it's 5 episodes or 5 seasons. We're about 5-6 episodes in, I believe.
Okay.
But big fan. And speaking of podcasts, have you been listening to the Where Everybody Knows Your Name? I think it's called. It's the Ted Danson and Woody Harrelson podcast.
I just saw it today. I didn't realize it was a thing.
It's good. It's good. It's not a rewatch podcast. They kind of, the premise, Ted Danson said is because they only speak like once a year. They've stayed in touch, but they don't only get together like once a year. And this is a reason and an excuse, kind of like we do, to get together once a week and kind of connect. And they invite their famous friends on and whatnot. It's good. I'm enjoying it. But the one thing I want to also bring up is I just found out on Peacock, Cheers is coming back for a 7-episode. It was just announced tonight. Cheers is coming back for a 7 episodes. Run
7 or 8. Okay.
7 or 8. And I couldn't understand if it's going to be the characters like doing a 7-episode Cheers show, or if it's going to be a 7-episode retrospect with the cast and character.
That's what it seemed like when I read the description, but I need to understand it more.
In for it.
Yeah, of course.
Either you give me new Cheers or just the actors. But that's the thing is, if it's a retrospect, 7 episodes seems like a long run to do like a reunion. You know what I mean? Like
I don't-
Friends did it
yeah.
in one hour and a half thing on was it Prime last year or a couple years ago
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yep.
But anyways, either way, we get some more cheers one way or the other. That's going to be enjoyable. And also, again, listen to that podcast. It's good.
I will do that. I will watch that as well. I mean, heck, we're all not getting any younger. All those actors are certainly getting up in age a little bit. So
Right.
I'm glad to see that they're taking the time to come back together and remember that. I know you're a big fan as well. I watched every
Huge
episode
fan.
of that next day.
Yeah,
I rewatched it before, just from start to finish, the whole thing, and just like you watch a show like that, you just sort of
still holds up.
Yeah, it's like an old friend. You're going back and revisiting a little bit. You know what I mean? So that's cool.
And the fun part about the rewatching of it all is that you get to see some early actors doing cameos that you're like, oh shit, I didn't even realize he was on it, and it wasn't even a thing because they were just an unknown actor at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's roughly how Harry Anderson got Night Court.
Okay.
He
He was on there. Yeah,
he did that. He did a few episodes. Even when he was doing Night Court, he came back and reprised the role later in the years. As the con artist or whatever. But yeah, a lot of actors ran through Cheers. Ran through that bar.
I remember way early, Dean. They even had he was an older man at the time, certainly, but the original Spanky was there. He had a cameo on Cheers. Really? He was in the bar or something like that. I think Ted Danson recognized him as Spanky or something like that.
That's cool.
Something like that. Yeah. But anyway, I don't know why that popped in my head. You're talking about the people that were on the show, but
yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. Anything else?
Nope. That pretty much covers it.
I forgot one thing, by the way. The Boys season 5 on Prime.
I'm still trying to get through the season 2 right now.
Man,
I hear it's good. I did get to the episode you were telling me about with the dick in the door.
Yeah, man.
Holy shit, that was awesome.
It's wild stuff, man.
Yeah,
the guy that plays Homelander is such
he's great.
Good. He's so hateable. He's so good.
Right.
Man, just so good. So yeah,
I really hope that's a launching pad for him.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be. And others on the show as well. But yeah, it's if you enjoyed the series at all, you're like, is it gonna fall off at all? Nope. It is not. Just watch every episode.
This is the last season, correct?
It might be. It might be. But yeah, I was actually watching it before the show tonight, so it's episode 5 or something like that. So yeah, definitely recommend it. Okay, all right. Well, we're going to then take a break. We're going to watch the remainder of the debate, or perhaps none of it, and we're not sure yet.
Right.
Yeah. And then whenever we come back, we're going to bring you some pop culture headlines and our Ask an Idiot segment of the week, tying into a upcoming U.S. holiday next week. And we'll tell you all about that after the break. All right, welcome back to Convincing Idiots, segment 2, episode number 196.
196.
That's right. For
creeping to that 200.
200, yes, absolutely. Well, and we'll tell you about that, by the way, coming up here. If you're local, you might be able to come out and see us perform the show live at one of our favorite places. So we'll tell you about that soon, so stay tuned for details there. So we are in Northeast Ohio, as some people know if you listen to us. If you don't, that's where we are in Northeast. I was like, where the hell is that? So we're not that far. We're in the Akron, Barberton area, about 45 minutes south of Cleveland, Ohio. So I'm sure you saw this, Dean. So exciting Cleveland news this week. The Superman movie was being filmed up there. Yeah,
I did. It's exciting.
I think they transformed City Hall, wasn't it, as to the Daily Planet, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or was it something else?
Like that? No, I can't remember if it was City Hall, but one of the buildings they added the Daily Planet, globe on the top, and then they showed. I've seen pictures that people have snuck in, which I kind of feel bad looking at because you kind of want to respect the art and the craft and not want spoiled, but people are off to the side taking pictures. So you've already seen in the original promo that picture that they put out. You saw his suit, right?
Yeah, suit looks great.
Suit looks great. You got the original S on the back of the cape. The neck's a little high in the back. I get comic book, like the newer comic book, it kind of has that feel to it, a mixture of that with the original S on the chest, the original shield from the comic books. So we've seen that, and now we've seen leaked pictures of it kind of in action, not like beating up somebody in action, but like in a scene, right? Not just a glossed up promo pic, and it looks good. You saw the Daily Planet sign.
Mr. Terrific. So the actor playing Mr. Terrific in the scenes, military scene or something like that.
Yep. So I'm excited. David Cornsweat, I believe is his name.
That's right.
He looks the part.
That's great.
He looks. I'm not 100% sold until I see moving pictures. I'm not sold on the look of Clark Kent.
I don't think I've seen that yet.
Yeah, they showed a picture of him with the glasses and holding a Daily Planet newspaper.
Okay.
But again, Superman looks great. Not 100% sold on Clark Kent, but again, I will hold my opinions until seeing little more of it. So, but yeah, I'm excited about that.
Very cool. And as we've talked about before, and many people know already, and some people don't, that Superman was created. The creators were from Cleveland, Ohio. So it's very cool to have a new Superman movie being filmed in Cleveland.
They have one of their childhood houses still up with the plaque in front of it. Can't remember which one. It could be both of them. I don't know. But yeah, it's you have the birthplace of Superman. I know a lot of movies have been filming. The Avengers was filmed in Cleveland. I know that I think you get a lot of tax breaks. It's a lot of incentives to come film in Cleveland, kind of like Atlanta. So a lot of movies come in here. Hell, I know that there was a scene from an unknown movie filmed in Barberton Wednesday night.
Okay.
They shut down Tusk for about an hour to do a scene.
Traffic was crazy. It was a madhouse.
Well, they used an alley. I can't imagine. And somebody goes, "Hey, you think there's a Superman scene?" I'm like, "Yeah." From Cleveland to Barberton, they couldn't find an alley that they liked so much, so they had to come 45 minutes for this alley.
Yep.
Scene.
Barberton has the best alleys in Northeast Ohio. Yeah. Known for that. We don't have a lot of cities don't have the looks that we do, and our alleys have the right kind of bum in it, and the right kind of drug needles strewed across the ground. So pretty popular. The authentic urine. Yeah,
you can. Good. You can almost smell it through the screen. That's really something we bring to Hollywood that nobody else can. So,
smell-o-vision. That's it. Yep, that's it. The birthplace of Superman, by the way, Jerry Siegel. That's
Jerry Siegel. That's right.
Jerry Siegel's house. In Cleveland has like you say, it's very well marked and everything. I've not been. You know what? That would be a fun day trip to Cleveland.
Sure.
Go check that out.
I've never been to the house.
I've never have, and go check out like the Great Lakes Brewery or something, and just make it an afternoon. I like that idea.
There's a at Cleveland Airport. There's a big statue, Superman statue, when you come into Cleveland. There you can see the giant statue. There's a whole video montage wall of Superman
cool.
and the birthplace and the whole story. You know, when you come into Cleveland from wherever you're coming from at that airport, that's where, you know, your Superman knowledge of Cleveland starts. So it's very cool.
Very good. Excellent. Well, I'm looking forward to the movie. I think, I don't know. I think it's a well, they're certainly DC is banking a lot on this movie to help reset the big universe. So
I hope so.
We'll see how it goes, man. But at least the visuals so far look intriguing, like you said.
Yep.
All right. So more crazy products online. Again, some of these products, it's very interesting, like what will hit on TikTok and YouTube. You get the right type of videos, you get the right type of influencers, and some of these ridiculous products take off here. So teen boys, Dean, are using fitness gum.
Fitness gum.
Yes, you might ask yourself, well, what the hell is fitness gum? Apparently,
I do not know what fitness gum is.
Well, obviously you don't, because it trims your jaw line. Apparently,
fitness gum that trims a jawline.
Yes, it helps you get defined jaw lines.
Isn't that just chewing gum in general?
I think it's sort of the same. Like if you chew like bazooka bubble gum or something like that.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
after 30 seconds, it becomes like the consistency of like rubber,
right?
Kind of, you know. Mm-hmm.
Well, is that anything like the fitness balls? Fitness balls in your mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. What else is good in your mouth? These nuts.
These nuts.
Yep. Haven't heard that lately. No, so it's silica. So it's products like so the article, by the way, says having a well-defined jawline has become an aesthetic obsession for some teen boys online. So there's jaw trainers like silicone jaw trainers. So you gnaw these things in 10-minute intervals. Apparently, facial fitness gum. It's like, you know,
fitness gum. That's insane.
There are people out there saying, you know what, we have this crappy gum.
Right. What do we do with it?
It's like, you know what? Someone says, you know, someone's a marketing genius out there. Man.
Yeah. You know who's dumb? What? Teenage boys.
That's yes.
We can get them to chew gum and tell them it's for a fucking jawline.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you get influencers to come out and say that look at my jawlines because I chew all this stupid gum.
Yep. That's it. Right. Nothing to do with genes or anything like that or fitness.
With the fucking baby fat on their stupid heads. I mean, don't they know it's just much easier just to grow a beard like you and I do?
It shaves off at least 2 pounds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Look at this. Look at these jawlines you and I have.
Yeah. Can you see it?
Impeccable. Yeah. Impeccable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Different colors, but still still amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Dean trims his jawline. His mouth is open, typically, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what's happening. That's just what I hear. No, but it's just like you do anything different to this gum? No, we just put a different wrapper on it. That's it. Sold it as fitness gum. What? Who the hell's going to buy that? Teenage boys.
Hey, boss.
I'm listening.
Boss. We found a warehouse. A Bazooka Joe gum from 1986. What do you want done with it? Well, it'd be dumb to throw it out. How about we throw it in teenage boy's mouth?
Uh-huh. That's right. Why would they want to chew it? I don't know, boys. How about they strengthen their jawline?
Yeah, I think you're onto something, Billy. Go on.
Get me a proposal by 3 this afternoon.
Yep.
That's it. It's 2:00 now. 3:00. I want to see 3:00 proposal. Sold. There you go. Done.
Crazy.
So one of the brand names, by the way, is called Rock Jaw. Thank you very much.
Rock Jaw. Rock Jaw. All right.
So a dentist, Mark Burane, Buratn,
is strongly against it.
Of course, So there's an Ask the Dentist podcast. There you go. There's another podcast for you. Said that strengthening one's jaw muscles won't change the shape, but here's a shock, everybody. Losing weight might bring out its natural definition. There you go.
Yeah.
Science.
Go run down the
Science.
street, puppy. Maybe you'll get a better jaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, fat fuck. You're in there playing World of Warcraft for 18 hours a day.
All these products. And you know what? It's the reality of. I mean, it is a shame for young boys and girls, honestly, when these type of things are marketed out there, and people get so obsessed with looks that they'll just buy up product. Have I done it before myself? Absolutely, I have. You know, there's things out there I've bought it over time where it's just like it's such a stupid.
I heard you when you were younger, you bought those Jack LaLanne records.
Yeah, that's right. I listened to
That
gently.
is a reference that nobody's gonna fucking get listening to this.
Yep. Yeah, I read all those,
Okay,
all the Joe Atlas, ads on the back of comic books. You know, you have to get kicking the sand in the face, and I read several of those and didn't help.
Nope,
didn't help at all. They wanted me to do actual work.
Work? No. You don't need to do that.
Yeah,
Brian, I got some gum for you. It's going to be perfect.
Good,
Excellent. You'll be fine.
That's right. I'm trying to trim a couple of pounds. Let me try the fucking fitness gum. Yeah. Oh boy. All right. Well, a current social media sensation, Dean. Have you heard of the Hawk Tua girl by chance?
Yes, I have.
I saw all kinds of things about it. I saw like T-shirts and things online, and I'm like, "What in the hell is the Hawk Tua girl?" And apparently, let's see here, Haley Welch is her real name.
That's her real name.
So she was featured in a Man on the Street interview from creators Tim and D TV. So in the video, she's asked, "What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?" And she said, "You got to give him that Hawk Tua and spit on that thing," she exclaimed. Words can't really capture her whole vibe, so let's run this over anyway. So that's it. So that video went viral.
Very viral.
She's teamed up with those guys to have merchandise and everything else here. So
well, good. I'm glad that she's getting a part of that. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing what hits these days. I mean, going from gums, it's gonna give you a better jawline to a what, probably 20-some-year-old girl talking about spitting on a dick, and she's now world famous.
Yes. Merchandise.
You talk about it all the time, and we ain't got no sort of fame here.
Nope. No, we can't get up to a fucking 200 TikTok followers. God damn it!
Right?
Yeah. I don't know. But we'll have to get the Hawk Tua girl. It's probably hard to get now.
Yeah, I would imagine very hard to get.
Well, like you said, good for her. The fact that
she's now got an agent and and she's got a whole team behind her now.
Ride the wave, man.
Absolutely.
Ride the wave, as long as it lasts. Yeah, sell some merch. Like you said, I'm glad that they got her involved. Good.
Maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe we need to do some man on the street interviews. And then,
I like that.
Maybe we're not the Hawk Tua girl, but maybe we can find the Hawk Tua girl ourselves.
Sure.
Let's ask strangers some inappropriate questions and hope for an absurd answer that gets America laughing, which ultimately is what it is. It is nice to see something that goes viral that like people don't start shitting on the person, making fun of them.
It's just fun.
It was a fun, innocent conversation, and a fun, innocent comment that everybody appreciated it for what it was. And so I like that part.
Yeah, that is good. It is good. It's not hurting anybody. It's just funny, like you said, it's ridiculous.
Right.
Hey,
because normally, I mean, you would think that people would be, calling her all sorts of names and whore and all of this, but I haven't seen any of that. People are taking it for the lighthearted joke and comment that it was, and enjoying it together. So I like that. We're now watching here on a Thursday, watching these two meatheads debate back and forth. And here is Haley bringing the country together with her description on how to please a man. And, and everybody collectively goes,
yep,
absolutely. Good. Fantastic. So, here's to you.
That's it. Whoever can get her endorsement for president, going to have an edge.
Right?
Gonna have an edge, for sure. Yep. Well,
you should get endorsed like chewing tobacco.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
I like the man on the street. That we'll do men in Barberton alleys. I like that. How about that? Kind of sneak up behind people, ask them questions. I'm sure it'll be fun.
Last time I did that, I got arrested. I don't know if that's a good idea.
Yeah. Pardon me, sir. Yeah. Do you spit on dicks? What? What?
I think I've done this the wrong way.
Get the hell out.
Now I've been knifed.
Hey, I think we got this.
Yeah, we can do this.
We can do it. Yeah, it'll work out just fine.
I'll do the camera part. I'm really good with cameras. So you do the interviewing, and let's see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm. We got the hawk to a girl. We could be the to a hick guys, something like that. There's something there.
Yeah, there's something there.
Yeah, we'll work on it. We'll workshop the name still, ladies and gentlemen. So
that's right.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Look for us, YouTube, podcast, and Barberton Alleys.
Barberton Alley. We are not going to make it through this. So one way or the other, we're in trouble.
All right, well, we're shooting this, as you mentioned, it's the presidential debate, Thursday, June the 27th. A week from now, I can't believe it already. It's like one of the pinnacles of summertime holiday, July 4th here in the United States. So it's Independence Day. So it's a very popular, U.S. holiday. So if you don't happen to be from the U.S. listening to us, it's a good day. We celebrated our independence as a nation. So it's the birthday of America, basically, if you will. So,
if you will.
Mm-hmm. So it's just if most people get the day off, then a lot of people get the day off. I know I have the day off. It's it's typically very good, excellent. So maybe we'll figure something out there, but
we'll talk offline.
Yeah, it's a day around here of just relaxing. Typically, but what I love to do is just traditional summertime day off stuff. I like to fire up the grill, have a couple of beers, and hang out, have some family over, and just chill out outside and enjoy the weather and stuff like that. So it can be a very patriotic day, certainly. A lot of people decorate and kind of go over the top with some of that. Some people don't necessarily care about that as much, or maybe that's feelings have changed of feeling patriotic over the years for one reason or another. So that is our Ask an Idiot question of this week here, Dean. So I want to know, do you still feel extra or patriotic at all on the 4th of July? Or have your feelings changed over the years? Or maybe you never did feel that way. I just want to know how this holiday makes you feel, sir.
Brian, when I wake up on July 4th, I feel so patriotic. I will tell you that I hop out of bed. I feel the spirit of Betsy Ross giving a hand job to Benjamin Franklin. That's how patriotic I feel.
Mm-hmm.
No, but really, I don't know. When you're a kid, I think that idea of patriotism, I know that they preach it in schools a lot and whatnot. But it always feels like you felt more of it when you were a kid. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of history, and that's one of my favorite time periods is the Revolutionary time period, and I do love and appreciate all of that. But I don't know what they present to you right now for patriotism would just.
Ugh.
Dude, if there was fireworks outside my door, I would close the fucking blinds. I have no need for fireworks. I have no need for parades. I don't need to see people walking down the street slowly. For what? For a fire truck to blow its fucking horn in front of me? No, I don't need any of that. None of that scream patriotism. What I feel is patriotism is that sense of history when you reflect. Like any holiday, the holidays are meant for reflection. Whatever, regardless of holiday, whether it be Christmas, Easter, 4th of July, even fucking Flag Day. Holidays are meant for reflection. And to me, 4th of July, you take a moment to reflect of what was given and sacrificed to create what we have here. And when you do that, that's where your inner patriotism should lie. And again, if people love the fireworks and the parades, more power to you. It's just not my thing. I don't need the loud brass band playing patriotic tunes in the background. I don't need all that. Like you said, I want the day to hang out, fire up the grill, have a couple beers, enjoy the day with friends and family. But again, appreciate and respect the history of why we're doing it. So that is where patriotism lies with me.
No, that's good. I like that a lot. Yeah, I mean, for me, my feelings toward America, certainly, like maybe a lot of people these days, sometimes it gets a little complicated. It's just like we should be able to do better than what we do in many respects for our own people and others around the world, for that matter. I'm sure there's going to be people around the world watching at least highlights of this debate here this evening. It's just like, it just seems like it's almost a joke in many respects. It's like, is this the best that America has to offer? Is like two old white men that can't relinquish power.
Are you talking about the debates or this podcast?
Yeah, right. Both.
Right. I'm not giving up the power, Brian. I refuse.
No, even if I lose, if I'm elected off the show, I refuse to
I won't
leave
concede.
Anyway.
That's right.
Yeah. No, but it's that seems ridiculous. It seems like we should be able to do more with so many things, housing people and health care and so many things that other countries seem to have figured out a way to get it together and not make everything so fucking political and almost impossible to get things done. And the country is so divided politically
It almost seems like it's put together that way for that reason. You put two parties, that it'll divide itself, so you don't notice that nothing's getting done.
Yeah. I can't possibly imagine that the forefathers thought with the way that they tried to establish the laws and rules of the country would get to some of the ridiculousness
it is
today.
If you brought one of the founding fathers back here in a time machine right now, first of all, they'd be amazed and at awe that we have strip clubs. After that, they would look at our political situation and be disgusted.
Sure. Yeah, they would try to explain it, and they would still probably vilified on social media or whatever. That did you hear what Thomas Jefferson said? Anyways, so
And
all that stuff. Go ahead.
And then again, they're going to want to go back to the strip club because, come on.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It is amazing. All that stuff really is disappointing. However, like you said, there's definitely a lot of good for sure, in the country. It is a day that I do reflect a little bit too, like you said, where as screwed up as things are, there are some certainly positive things and positive people that are out there in the country, that we do certainly have a lot of privileges and freedoms that so many countries just don't have. So those are the things you try to reflect on. And I do tend to feel an added sense of patriotism. I'm a guy that I even did it tonight. I will have my flag out there. I typically have my flag anyway, but I'll put out my bunting, my little yard decoration stuff. On the 4th of July, I typically will wear, red, white, and blue, clothes and hat and all kinds of stuff, and just enjoy the day and celebrate the fact that just a goofy American, and that's what we're going to celebrate today, and that's really it. So while my overall patriotism has waned a little bit over the years, that day I will pause and reflect and all that stuff. Plus, the country too. You saw some of this certainly at 9/11. 9/11 is as horrible of a tragedy that was.
Come together.
We definitely did come together as a nation, and we did pause for a minute and just realize it's all that other crap went out the window for a minute. It's just like we're all feeling sorry for those poor families impacted, but we're all Americans and coming together, and yet a sense of if I was asked to go out and fight for my country that year, I would have done it, along with many others who did. So I don't know. So yeah,
when it comes down to it, that's what this podcast is all about: trying to keep our country together, trying to bring us all together. Black, white, men, women, children, elderly. Unless you're Nick, then we don't want to keep him together. But everybody else we're just bringing together. That's what we're here for. I wanted to get the quote correct. I was looking it up real quick. Benjamin Franklin, when they adopted the Independence Hall, the Constitutional Convention in 1787, someone shouted out as Benjamin Franklin was leaving, said, "Doctor, what have we got, a republic or monarchy?" And to which Franklin responded, "A republic, if you can keep it."
Smart man.
Right. He'd have been fun to party with, wouldn't he have?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Out of everybody in history, I've always said he would be my one to go party with. He would have enjoyed the strip clubs, I guarantee you.
Without question.
Absolutely.
Without question. All right. Well, good stuff. Good stuff, Dean. So we want to hear from you guys out there as well. Do you still feel patriotism and an added sense of patriotism on the July 4th holiday? Want to hear from you.
And if
email
you're
us,
not,
reach out to us, whatever. Go ahead.
And if you're not from America, reach out to us and tell me how handsome I am.
Sure.
Yep. I think that's a good constellation of comments.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it won't take much time to read those, but that's okay. We got time.
Half one, maybe. Hey, I'll take what I can get at this point.
All right, so we're gonna take a break here, Dean.
Handsome.
There we go. That's it.
So does the cat. Cat thinks I'm very handsome.
Mm-hmm. Smells the same as well.
That's true.
I don't even know what that means, but you could, just go with it however you want.
Well, come over and smell the cat, and then smell me, and tell me what you think.
Mm-hmm. But we're going to take a break. We're going to smell the cat. And we're going to come back with our main segment. Nothing to do with flex gum, strengthening gum, or patriotism. None of that stuff here. It's going to be a good old Star Wars question that Dean's going to tell you all about after the break.
And also, we're going to smell the cat. Welcome back to Convincing Idiots. Segment 3, our main event, main topic we are at. Brian, are you ready for some Star Wars talk?
Always ready for that.
All right. Well, first, actually, before we get to that, let's dive in a little bit, if you don't mind, to the Acolyte.
Sure.
If you're hearing this, if you've stayed to segment 3, no, let's give it a 5, 4, spoiler alert, 3, 2, 1. We won't go into heavy spoilers. And if we do, we've already warned you. Fast forward a minute, right? Let's take a brief period to talk about the episodes that we've seen so far. Now, again, without remembering the characters' names, I remember Oshi is the girl, right? The main character, and her sister May, who is the Acolyte. Well, again, do you think she is the title character, the Acolyte, or is the newly the new Sith? That we found out who it was, which I said last episode that's who it probably was, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right about that. So it was
I did call it
Queemeyer?
Yes, I don't know how you pronounce that.
Quimir by Manny Jacinto is the actor. Very good.
He's very good. Like, I loved how he had the bumblingness, kind of like it's what Yoda did to Luke on Dagobah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
pretended to be the bumbling fool, only to turn out that he is, a powerful, very powerful. That scene, that lightsaber scene, how badass was that?
Oh, man, we're so good. So
when he stabbed the girl and then pulled the other guy to her and stabbed him too at the same. Jesus.
That was awesome.
So was cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
Again, visually, it looks great.
Mm-hmm.
But my question was: do you think that May is the title Acolyte, or is he the Acolyte to his master? It's the rule of 2. There's always 2. One master, one apprentice who wants to be master sooner or later.
Didn't he call Master Soul Master?
I said that too, right? And Carter corrected me. He goes, that's actually a title that most people will even address. Even laymen will address Jedi as master, whatever.
There's definitely some backstory to Soul, though. Like, was he practicing on the dark side and became a Jedi? Is he battling the dark side?
There's something
more there for sure.
Something there, but yeah. Regardless, I love the idea that you're vested in these characters that aren't, regular or prequel or sequel Skywalker characters. They're new. They're fresh. I know people are up in arms about there being a lesbian couple. They're upset that there's another female main character. When it comes down to it, all of you can just eat shit. Come on, just enjoy that we have more Star Wars.
Right.
If it's not your cup of tea, like The Last Jedi wasn't mine, watch it and then move on.
Yeah, some of these super nerds will be lucky to, see a boob. You know what I'm saying? So just relax, enjoy. It's a strong female character on the screen. Just
Right.
cool off. Relax, man.
It's just insane.
Yeah. Or
To
don't
get
watch
that
it.
worked up over
Same deal.
a product. I mean, again,
Yeah.
maybe I'm gonna lose my nerd card on this, but I just don't have the time or energy to get that worked up. I love discussing and debating,
Mm-hmm.
but to get that, some of these actors and some of these people at Lucasfilms were getting death threats. Like, people were sending them death threats because of this. Some idiot on the internet is going to throw a funeral for Star Wars, like, in the next coming weeks. Again, I kind of get that because it's for clicks and he's going to monetize it. So, whatever, good on him. If you can be a troll and make money, whatever. But the death threats, the illegality of certain people for a TV show or a comic book or movie is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you have something better to do, like storm a Capitol or something? Relax, everybody.
Right. Exactly.
Good Lord.
Right. It's all just entertainment at the end of the day. That's what it's meant to do.
Just like what this show should have been. Entertainment.
Right.
Didn't turn out that way, but, that was the original intent, I think.
Yeah. We have gotten some reviews. Not for me. That's okay. It's pretty good. That was an actual review, ladies and gentlemen.
That was an actual review.
Yeah.
Not for me.
That's okay.
Really
Heard worse. Worse comments. Well,
all right.
We keep Star Wars in perspective, I think.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. And what made me come to this question, Brian, was watching this new Star Wars and watching some of the cool ass people in the background or in the foreground, but like not the main characters. You're like, wow, I'd like to know more about that guy or that guy. Which some of these characters you do in books or video games or whatnot. But we all love Star Wars, the entirety, the main characters and the not so main characters. So I want to know, Brian, what is your Mount Rushmore of non-main characters? Well, let's call B character sounds mean, right? So how about sub characters? How do you? What's a nice way to put this?
No, I think you're right. I mean, when you say the main characters of Star Wars, I kind of think of the prominent, Han, Leia, Chewbacca, Luke,
Obi-Wan,
the Mandalorian
Rey.
Now. Yeah, that type of stuff. Right.
And now with the new TV show, and this might mess up your list, I don't know, but Boba Fett was the main character in a TV show.
Yeah, I don't consider that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Again, these are your lists, and if you're listening and you're putting your list together, it's your list too. I mean, if your list is your list, who are we to argue with it? I mean, we're idiots when it comes down to it. So, your Mount Rushmore of B characters or lesser characters. All right, however you want to put it.
Sure.
All right. So, actually, do you have number one in your list? Doesn't need to be in order. Just.
I will honor my shirt that Allie got for me. It's a Moss Isley.
You're gonna make me switch things up.
Cantina shirt, and it's advertised. It's saying it's advertising the Cantina, but it mentions the band, and it has I think there's one of the aliens on here too, if I'm not mistaken, at the bottom of the shirt. Yeah, it's down here. You can't see it on camera, but so the you pointed this out. I don't know if they actually had a name, but it's Figrin Dan and the Modal Nodes, otherwise known as the Cantina Band in the original Star Wars movie. Those guys, it was a very cool, that was a brilliant scene. That was they set the tone for the Cantina bar, and just really, you got to see in one room all these very interesting beings from all over the galaxy were all there in this bar hanging out, just like a lot of people at a bar, And there were the entertainment band. The music was, matter of fact, again, the ring, my ringtone, my standard ringtone on my phone right now is the Cantina Band theme song, which you're a Star Wars fan, you certainly know that. But they had a very cool look, the aliens with the big heads and all that. They playing instruments. Just a very, I always love seeing the Cantina Band. And
iconic.
So
I mean, if you go about and ask, 100 people on the streets, that's, and you actually don't even play them to them, if you hum them that tune or do and I would say 3 out of 4 of them would go, that's Star Wars. They might not get, say that it's Cantina or the name or whatever, but they know that tune to Star Wars. That's how iconic that is.
That's it. There you go. Number one.
Number one.
But first one on my list, I should say.
First one on your list. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. My first on my list is, started out as a kind of a background character, and throughout different time periods and series, she has become, you kind of get more of her and her more understanding and how prominent she was. I'm going with Mon Mothma.
That's a very good one. Yes.
Mon Mothma was, the leader of the Rebel Alliance. So she was she was a senator in the Galactic Republic or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And, she had, with all of these new movies and series that are coming out, you get to see just how cunning and powerful she actually was, and what all went into her, not just leading these small briefings before battles. She was actually quite important in the Rebel Alliance. So Mon Mothma is the first one on my list.
Very good. Excellent choice. Allie reminded me of this character today as one of her favorites. And I'm like, you know what? I like that character too. So I put him on my list from the Mandalorian Season 1. Is it Kuil?
Ooh, that. Yeah.
Voiced
that
by the great Nick Nolte. It was the I Have Spoken.
Yes.
I Have Spoken guy. Just like, man, it was just a cool, it was like a moisture farmer or something like that he was, or something like that. But certainly very
cool character.
And it was unfortunate they killed him off and everything, but just heroic and really helped out the Mandalorian. That's it. And again, Nick Nolte's voice coming out, little teeny character, was fantastic.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, very good. I forgot about him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2 on my list is Nick's not here to do it, so I had to honor him. Nick's favorite character, big or small, main or sub, he is Salacious Crumb.
Yeah.
The laughing little monkey, quag monkey,
Something what they're called.
Yeah, quag a monkey or some shit like that. But Salacious Crumb was obnoxious and annoying, but again, you look at that guy and he gives you the feels of what's, especially Return of the Jedi, what that was, that feel of back then. So very good, very cool, Salacious Crumb.
Yep. So you just love to hate that character in the Jedi.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. They made a cameo. Was it the Mandalorian or one of them? There was like a tree full of them or something like that. They walked by, wasn't it? I can't remember what it was. Yeah. Very good one. Another one from the Mandalorian, Dean, the Armorer. Very cool character.
Good.
So she's like the leader of the Mandalorians. The whole, just the wisdom, super cool look. And then just the whole scenes where she makes the armor, or he takes something and melts it down and makes something else, like
Yep.
just so cool.
Wise and,
Yes.
and the poise
Strong.
to her. Yeah.
Knows the
Very good.
way, teaches.
Never broke from it.
Nope. Great leader, great character, great look, the whole thing. So the Armorer.
All right. Number 3 was easy.
Mhm.
If you want to talk about B, this might be C or D or E character in Star Wars.
Mhm.
It was in the Revenge of the Sith. He was Chairman Papanodia. If you don't know who Chairman Papanodia is, you might have missed him, but he was a blue-faced senator portrayed by George Lucas himself. And that, sir, is why he should be on the list, because it's George Lucas finally getting to be in his creation on camera. It was very brief. He was kind of the background, the camera got close, but essentially in the background. But just because it was George Lucas in Star Wars itself, that's why Chairman Papanodia is on my list as number 3.
Is that the same scene? Weren't his kids also blue aliens?
Probably,
as
yeah,
well?
I think so.
And the same
Something
scene,
like
perhaps?
that. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I forgot that he was actually in that
Right?
as well. Good. So in the original trilogy, he first made an appearance in the original Star Wars movie and then reappeared in Empire Strikes Back. It was just it was just a very pleasant, familiar face fighting with the rebellion. And matter of fact, he came back yet again in Return of the Jedi. So he made an appearance in all 3 original trilogy movies. Wedge Antilles.
Yep, there you go. Very good.
Good pilot, certainly made some shots, and you got to see him. I like the evolution as well, where he was sort of kind of the afraid pilot in the original Star Wars, and then in Empire Strikes Back, he was more the veteran, powerful squad leader or something like that. You know what I mean? And then came back again. He was in the Ewok scene with his helmet off, celebrating with everybody. So, wasn't he Ewan McGregor's actual uncle? If I recall correctly,
he is. Yes, Ewan McGregor's actual uncle.
Yeah. There you go. The great Wedge Antilles.
Very good. That's the epitome of a B character. You know what I mean? Who does just a couple lines, it kind of in the background shots, but definitely, and I know Star Wars fans are notorious for grabbing a hold of every character on screen and making them something. But he really was something. Like, that guy did have presence, and to see him come back in the last movie was very cool.
He did, didn't he? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he came. Remember, he was one of the things. When they came to help Poe at the end, they showed him and gave him a line. We're with you, Poe, or whatever he said.
That's right. I forgot about that part.
From what I heard, he wasn't keen on coming back, but they finally got him into agreeing to it.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. I remember even as a kid, it was like you saw him in Empire Strikes Back. Oh, that's Wedge, and then it's like you're like, he's got to be in Return of the Jedi. He's got to be, and then sure enough, it was like, yeah, it's Wedge.
Yep. Wedge Antilles. Yep.
Very good.
All right. My next one, number 4. Lar Santeca, played by Max von Sydow in Force Awakens. He is the old man in the village in the beginning.
Oh yeah, okay.
That character, there's stories of him in the books where him and Luke went on adventures with Kylo Ren. So Kylo Ren and him had a much more longer, detailed relationship, than that story of "You've gotten so old." Far more worse has happened to you. You know, that old guy in the village, you know, in the very first, you know, one of the first scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And pardon, Max von Sydow is a prominent actor, well known, very prestigious. It's almost the kind of like having Alec Guinness do sorry, my throat. Alec Guinness do Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like they got that stage, that actual actor to do this role, and Max was one of those. And it was a very small role, but if you know the character outside that movie, you know the character itself was very prominent in Luke, and they would go find different artifacts, Sith, you know, artifacts and old Jedi artifacts throughout the galaxy, and they would bring Ben with them. So, yes, Lar Santeca is one of my favorite. Just that one scene, again, it says so much for that actor of like how much he stole that scene with Kylo Ren in the beginning of that movie. So.
Very good scene. Yeah, very good. All right. This character, Dean, uttered, it could be one of the most famous lines in all of Return of the Jedi. One could argue one of the most famous lines of the original trilogy. It's a trap.
Yep.
Great, you know, Admiral Akbar. Just those aliens. I like the fact that there were numerous aliens of different ranks and everything that were there. So that race of alien was, you know, then fighting the rebellion and everything. He had a cool look. I like this whole chair thing flying around with the headrest thing. I want one of those chairs.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I don't know what that is, but the whole floating headrest deal. Yeah, in case he wants to put his head back. You know, just the command he had, the voice, the cool look, even down to, I remember when the whole Super Destroyer crashed and he sort of slumped in his chair like, you know, like, wow, that was a big victory and everything. And of course, he made the reappearance in the later movies as well. They didn't have to kill him off, but they did. But anyway,
there's a lot of things they shouldn't have done. But
oh boy, yeah. I want to see maybe a Admiral Akbar story. I could dig that. You know,
name me another B character in Star Wars that has their own T-shirts and posters and the amount of memes that Admiral Akbar has.
He has. It's up there, man.
It's a very short list. If anybody has more than he does,
yeah,
It's a Trap is as iconic outside of Star Wars as anything has been when it comes to, you know, B characters. So very good.
Even now when I watch that movie, when that scene is coming up, I just stop everything. I'm just like, okay, here it comes.
Yeah.
The line's coming up.
For it.
It's a trap. There it is. Yep. There you go. That's my 5. What else you got?
My number 5. You took the Cantina Band.
Mm-hmm.
So I have some honorable mentions that I normally reach down and grab when that happens, but I actually you triggered something earlier, and I had to pull this guy up and put him on the list fresh. I don't know if you remember Miggs Mayfield. Miggs Mayfield was portrayed by Bill Burr in The Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah. Very good.
By the comedian Bill Burr. He'd been in a couple episodes. He was originally a prisoner that was able to escape along. The scene in the officers' quarters alone makes Bill Burr and Mig Mayfield make this list. The scene because essentially he was the only one that saw, the only other human at that point to see the Mandalorian take off his mask and see his face. But that scene when he's explaining what happened to his troops during the war and what happened to his command and his friends. Like, it was powerful. Bill Burr is an amazing comedian, and he just might be just equally amazing as an actor. And that scene there made me put him on my list, being Miggs Mayfield in The Mandalorian.
Excellent. You want to run through your 5 and do honorable mentions?
Yeah. All right. I have Mon Mothma. I have Salacious Crumb. I have Chairman Papanodia. Again, George Lucas and Blueface. Lar Santeca. And Miggs Mayfield.
Very good.
I'm going to do my honorable mentions, or you want to run through yours first?
Let me do my 5, then we can go honorable mentions. How about that?
Absolutely.
So Kuil from The Mandalorian Season 1. Yes, is the I Have Spoken guy, the Armorer, and the Mandalorian, the leader of the Mandalorians. The Cantina Band, of course. Wedge Antilles, and Admiral Akbar. So many to choose from.
It wasn't an easy choice.
No, not at all. It was a fun list, though. Good idea.
Yep.
So, who do you have honorable mentions? So you want to go back and forth? You want to run through your list?
Let's go back and forth. Just bounce back and forth. We got time.
Sure. Yep.
All right. One of the great Jedis himself, Kit Fisto. Green guy with the long tentacles.
Oh yeah.
One of Carter's favorite Jedis through the prequels and some of the cartoons. So Kit Fisto.
Yeah, the 1 minute appearance too, didn't he? On the recent, like with the long head. Did he make a reappearance on one of these?
That's who I was talking about. That they're complaining about the continuity. Because they're trying to say, these hardcore fans are trying to say that, he shouldn't be alive, or that him with this series happening, his line in Revenge of the Sith have been dead for a millennia. He shouldn't know that if this is a thing, right?
Okay.
But again, the story's not over. Let it finish.
Relax, super nerds. Yeah.
Right.
They'll
feed you, baby bird. Relax.
Yeah. So, the great Peter Cushing, Grand Moff Tarkin in the original Star Wars. How about that? So, he was more of a...
See, this is what's going to happen. We're going to listen to these honorable mentions and go, God damn it, I want to change my list. But Peter Cushing should be on my fucking original list.
Just
yeah, you're right.
We all know he only lasted the one movie. But he was a powerful screen presence. He had the super great accent. He acted his ass off in that role.
Yeah, and again, one of those that they took an actor and put him in this role.
Of course, it was super cool that eventually, of course, they had Christopher Lee as a prominent role,
his best friend,
as Dooku. Yes, in the prequels, he was also great. Maybe he's on your list. I don't know, but still.
I didn't because I kind of put him as a main character in my mind in the prequels. That's why I didn't include him, because he's kind of is one of the in the second one. He's the bad, you know what I mean? So that's why I didn't include him.
That's true. But
who I
grab off talking about? Yeah, in our moment of triumph.
Right. Just confidence and
charming to the last.
Right. So good. Good. God damn it. All right, I'm going to go with another Jedi. Plo Koon. Plo Koon was in the sequels or the prequels. He had the mask, again, kind of like an alien head, but the mask and like the red kind of goggles. There was a type. His species was in the newest episode of the Acolyte, who, spoiler alert, didn't make it. But Plo Koon, again, one of Carter's favorites. So I'm paying respects to Carter's two favorite Jedi, Plo Koon and Kit Fisto. That's never easy to say.
No.
Yeah. So, yep, he's the next one on my list.
I've got R5D4 on my list. R5D4 was the red R2 unit. It always had a cool look to him, but in the original Star Wars, he was the R2 unit that was first selected by Owen. It had the bad motivator that conked out, which allowed C-3PO to get R2D2 in there. So if R5D4 did not conk out there, then we could have a whole different storyline. And they brought him back in I can't remember which series it was now. It was one of
them.
Mandalorian or one of the series they brought back.
Yeah, because what's her name had it? The woman who keeps helping fix stuff for him.
Maybe that's it. Yeah, that's right. Right. He's there. So very cool. There we go.
I implore you, Brian, please. I don't know how much you get to read in these days. Then go buy the audiobook on Audible. From a certain point of view.
So
from a certain point of view.
Okay.
There's a story and it explains why he blew up.
Okay. They say he was like force. Did you say he was like force sensitive? And he blew himself
he
up
wasn't.
Or something?
He wasn't. But something else or somebody else was on there, and they explained. I explained to him how important R2 was, so he blew himself up so R2 could get chosen again.
Okay.
From a certain point of view, is such a goddamn good book. All three of them. There's one for New Hope, Empire. And Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
All three are fantastic.
Okay.
But you'll love the original one, A New Hope, from a certain point of view. Max Rebo band or the Cantina band. There's a chapter on them that's wild. Yeah, just do yourself a favor. Get the audiobook's also cool because it gives you the different voices that you wouldn't get through reading.
Mm-hmm.
There's this story of Obi-Wan on the Death Star. That's all I'm gonna say. That's again, please watch. Please listen to it.
Okay, will do.
All right. So my next one is this is easy. It's Lobot. Lando Calrissian's bald, headgeared, servant or android. Nobody knows what he was. His name was Lobot. I had the action figure. Out of all the B characters, I had a Lobot action figure.
Wow!
As a kid.
Yeah, it's not an original release.
It's
first line series.
Wasn't. But I sure did have Lobot.
He had the whole, was it on his wrist? Watch.
Yeah, did it, and then and then it lit his head up, and he woke up. It's just he was an android.
He was one of the first Apple watches. People don't realize that.
He did.
Mm-hmm. And one button he had a Lobot app.
Ooh, there's what we need to do. AI fights. Androids against androids.
Okay, I like that.
Lobot against Jarvis. There you go.
I just love the one scene in The Empire Strikes Back where Lobot, I don't know if he's sleeping or he's resting or he's
turned off. Well, you don't know if he's a human or a robot.
Yeah, and so his eyes are shut and it's dark around him. And then Lando hits something and then it lights up and his eyes he opens.
Like, who didn't want a Lobot? Lobot was great.
Yeah.
See, I'm second guessing. I think Lobot should have been.
We're gonna get a fucking Lobot device on Nick.
Wake him up on Thursdays.
Beep bop beep beep. Yeah, get his ass. Yeah. Time to do the podcast, Nick. Yep. Very good. That's a good one. Let's see. I've got. I have a robot as well. How about K2SO?
Oh yeah.
From Rogue One. He was it was the Imperial robot that they reprogrammed or something to be good. Man, just a cool look, great character. I haven't watched that movie in a while, but that character stuck with me. after that movie for sure. So just an interesting character. I love it. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, the humanity they put into him. You know what I mean? Like the jokes and he gave kind of a. I mean, Anthony Daniels gave a kind of like the Butler performance, right?
Yes.
And I don't know if Alan Tudyk.
Yes, that's right.
Did the voice for him, and he's done many different voices through Star Wars, I believe. Also, if you don't know who he is, the audience, not you, Brian. He is the alien in Resident Alien on Sci-Fi.
Okay.
So Alan Tudyk did that voice. He's done a lot of different voices. Firefly, I think he was in also. But yeah, Alan Tudyk gave such a. It was definitely a human performance in the robot, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You definitely you felt like shitty when he died. You know what I mean? When they're getting blown up and trying to make it back to the ship. Yeah, I give you something what they can do, in Star Wars for these smaller roles.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's not many robot characters in general that when you felt, but certainly C-3PO and R2-D2 were definitely humanized in many respects just for what they did and their heroics and all that. But that, like you say, that was another one.
But that was C-3PO when he was blasted and blown apart, it was more of like, oh shit, what happened? K2SO is getting shot and slowly blown up like a goddamn scene in Platoon. You're just going, oh God, oh shit, oh no, oh come on, why would you? You know what I mean? Like, it's wild. Great choice.
Thank you.
All right, I had Admiral Akbar. Captain Phasma.
Good one.
Should have been a main character.
Yeah, they kind of fucked
ultimately
over
was not.
there, but they did. Very good character.
Yep. I would have liked to have, again, hindsight being 2020, if I had the book, if I had the pen, if I was writing it, I would have not only done Captain Phasma better, but I also would have done the actor better and treated her like an actual character and had her been able to take off the helmet and act through that as well. Put the helmet on to be the badass, but the woman, I apologize, she was in Game of Thrones, I believe. The actor.
She was the ancient one in the Doctor Strange movies.
Yes. Pause for edit. Gwendolyn Christie. As Captain Phasma. I would such a ridiculously great actress. Yes, she was great in the voice thing, but I would have let her through all three movies. She would have been alive. Of course, yes. You die at the end. But she would have been alive throughout the three movies and taking off the mask, being the badass that she should have been and probably was meant to be. So, yeah.
There's another character they didn't know what to do with and just sort of felt hurriedly to write her out. It was just weird. But cool look, great actors, like you said. Very good.
Right.
Another favorite is really several characters. It's more of a race throughout the Star Wars movies. The Jawas.
Sure. Absolutely.
I always thought there was a interesting, funny character. The language, the look was very cool.
Yep.
Sort of the actions and everything like that. It's just, little creatures out just stealing stuff and selling it to survive. It's kind of interesting. And just the language and the sounds I always loved that as a kid. I could probably recite even the Jawa language of the original Star Wars movie. I've seen it so much.
Me too.
You know what it is. You know, the oop TD. It's like, okay, that's the Jawas. You know exactly.
I love
what
when
it
they're
is,
walking
you're
through the sand and going dink 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 dink. That was them, right? That was was. Yeah,
that's right.
I thought so. Pretty good at my memory. Yes, Jawas are very good. Yes, good choice. All right, I got one left. If I could read my handwriting. Oh, okay. Yes, my last one. Talking about Star Wars as, you know, action and comedy and drama. One of the original dramas. You know, we talk about K2SO being blown apart, platoon style. Let's talk about the original drama in Star Wars. I'm sure he has a name. They all do. But I knew him as a child as the Rancor Keeper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That guy, even as a kid, you know, this Rancor, this monster that wanted to kill Luke Skywalker. You know, he should get what he deserves until he does. Then his keeper, his owner, what do you want to call him? And you see the actual impact that killing a bad guy has on other people. And you're like, oh, well, that's not the great. I don't know why they did it, because I shouldn't have these feelings towards the bad guy, but I did. That guy gave you everything in that sobbing because his pet was just murdered by this space wizard.
Yeah.
That's all he knew.
I like, too, in that scene where, like, his buddy, like, he starts crying and he puts his arm out and his buddy comes over and hugs him. And he's, like, talking to him, like, well, you're talking that whatever the alien language was, like, you know, comforting his friend who
That's
he
real
knows
shit.
was upset. Yeah.
That's real shit.
Yeah, that was good.
The Rancor Keeper is last on my list. Come on,
That's good.
man. He gave you the first actual heartfelt performance in Star Wars.
Very good. Very good. It kind of right along the lines of the Jawas, the Tusken Raiders.
Yep.
You know, certainly a super cool look again. The whole, you know, the look and everything in the original Star Wars. But as Ali reminded me of today, talking about it in the Boba Fett series, one of the interesting things about that, it made it like a clan. You get the whole.
You made them human, so to speak. You gave them humanity. You gave them community, and you gave them tribe. Like you made them people to care about. When before it was just shaking stick, you know, noise making things to get to antagonize the main characters. And then Boba Fett, you look at them and go, oh shit, this is actually a group of people that love and care for each other. It gave them depth.
Good word. I have one more. I don't know if he should make the list or not. I want to get your opinion here.
All right.
Very, very cool character. He has been prominent, certainly in the animated series as well, but not as much in the Star Wars movies, but certainly the look and everything was just awesome. Probably the best thing about episode 1, Darth Maul. Dean, do you consider him a sub-character or more of a main character? Because if he's more of a sub-character, he definitely makes my honorable mention at the very least, just from his look and the ability to fight and everything. Yeah.
That's hard, because, like, he was the bad guy in the movie. But if you compared it to his screen time, he probably had maybe a little bit more, or even with what Darth Vader would have had. But if you would have ended the Darth Vader's role in the trilogy with that one movie, he would have been a sub-character. Right? With the amount of screen time and how little...
Absolutely. 12 minutes or whatever it was. Yep.
12 minutes. So you know what? Importance, no, he could be considered a main character, but given the idea that he, you know, he didn't, well, he was in the, that's a toss up, man, because he was in the cartoons He did play a big role in those. So, you know what? For this moment, we're gonna allow it.
Okay. Very good.
Just because
Darth Maul,
anytime
then.
we can appreciate and mention Maul,
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah. No, it's a very good topic, and it's interesting. You asked this question even a couple of years ago. Certainly, our lists are completely different. Yeah, so this is where we can
Did we
see
do this before?
No, I'm just saying that just
Oh.
the fact of just all the characters that we added from the TV series on Disney.
Oh, correct.
You know, our list would have been completely different if we only had the original movies and/or animated series that we were thinking of here. So,
Right.
yeah, so. Kudos to
Fuck.
Disney and Plus and coming out with
Mandalorian
these series
itself
and
gave
giving
us so many
extra
great
characters.
side characters.
Absolutely, I had 2 on my list just from that alone.
Yeah,
you know, you could have had the Carl Weathers character. There's plenty of great sub characters in the Mandalorian series for sure. They could have made that list. You know, so
absolutely.
yeah,
Sub characters, Brian.
mm-hmm.
We would be the main characters, right? Though, like
That's correct.
in our world, you know, we're always the main characters.
Well, in the podcast world, we're sub characters.
Very sub characters.
Yeah,
but you know who's never a sub character?
Who?
You know who's a main character? Aaron Blake with Blake Insurance.
Main character of savings. Right.
That's right. That's right. Because let me tell you, Blake Insurance is an Erie insurance agency located right here in Barberton, Ohio. They provide auto, home, renters, and business insurance with honesty, decency, and affordability.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, Erie Insurance is above all else in service. You want to call 234-571-5359 or visit Blake Insurance LLC for your free, that's right, free 5-minute quote today. And when you do, tell them that the sub-characters of Convincing Idiots sent you.
Excellent. And some of the main characters in Wadsworth, Ohio these days, Dean, are our friends at Golden Heart Tattoos. Maybe you want to get yourself a Darth Maul tattoo and have a debate with Scott if Darth Maul is a main character or a sub character. You probably have a very good conversation while you get a tattoo. And to do that, give them a call.
I'm going to get Admiral Akbar tattooed right here, and it's going to say it's a trap.
I like it.
Get it? Trapezoid. It's a trap.
That's funny. That's funny. I thought you were going to say you get one on your ass. Thank you. Get Golden Heart Tattoo. That's a great advertising line right there. GoldenHeartTattoos.com or give them a call at 234-706-2982. And the Tuscan Raiders had their own, of course, they rode Banthas.
They sure did.
They were also very good riders. Learned to ride a somewhat of an electric type bike by Boba Fett, if you recall, in the Boba Fett series. So
that's right.
I'm not sure, but I've heard that those bikes could be a variation of an electric bike that may or may not have been purchased from our friends at RPM Bike Shop in Carrollton, straight from Carrollton to Tatooine.
That's right,
ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, not the cheapest shipping, but it'll get there eventually. And you can find them on Facebook or give them a call at 330-808-7792 and tell them you want your own electric bike shipped to your home planet, wherever that might be.
Probably a galaxy far, far away.
Very possible. Well, a galaxy could be far, far away, but we are not far away from the ending of episode 196, Dean.
That's right. Well, mainly because it's bedtime, but also because we solve the problems of the world.
Mm-hmm. As always.
Yeah.
As always. Every episode. We're not exactly as popular as the Hawk Tua girl, but we're striving to be.
Well, let me spit on some things and let's see if we can fix that. until that fame comes, you're going to be able to find us on all of your platforms that you listen to podcasts, whether it be Spotify, Spadecast. Is that what you said earlier? Spadecast?
Spadecast, Spot.
Yeah. Spottercast, Spotify,
Overcast.
Nick normally does this. Overcast, Apple, anywhere you get your beautiful podcast, that's where you're going to be able to find us, along with us on YouTube. So find us on YouTube, watch, rate, review. Do that on all the podcast things too. Rate, review. It helps us in every way possible to get up in the standings, so we may become just as popular as the Haktua Girl. All right. So, with all of that said, again, and follow us on our Facebook page, right? Mm-hmm. And our Twitter and our Instagram, and we have an email. If you want to write us a letter, tell us about yourself and how great we are. You can find it. What is that? What I don't know. So you have to jump in on here.
ConvincingIdiots@gmail.com. You can also find that.
gmail.com.
That's right. So you can find links to that on our Linktree website and Facebook page as well.
That's right. All of that. We've done it all, Brian. So, with nothing left to say, for this 196th episode of Convincing Idiots, I am the Zennial Dean.
Gen X Brian.
Have we convinced you to move from being the B character in your life to the main character in your life?
Hey, did you like that video? You know you did, and we know you did. So stop screwing around and go like that video, subscribe to our channel, and join us for some more.
Ham gravy.
The reductionist nature of
Sub characters. I that was a bad segue. I'll have to redo it.
the issues and the choices.
I hear I'm missing BC anyway. That's okay. I was trying to figure out. We did no reads tonight at all.
We didn't. Shit.
No. How do you want to do it? You just want to do them?
Yeah, we'll just do them.